Hey everybody, anyone who's here, and today we are checking out Tiny Brains. And I've actually been waiting for this game to come out ever since it came out for the PS4. It's a kind of an action puzzler platformer type game. I guess under Steam, it's the genre is action, adventure, casual, indie. I'm not sure who makes these genres on Steam and why they're so limited, but I would consider this definitely a puzzler, and I have to say this is a pretty awesome game. So right off the bat, it's available, by the time this video comes out, it's probably already out, but it's available December 11th for $13.99. Well, it's available $13.99 right now, but that's only a special price until November 18th when it will move up to $19.99. And I know that sounds expensive, and I usually harp on games that are that expensive, but this game seems to be worth the price. And why? Why is this game worth $19.99? Well, it has three huge pros that the little cons that it completely makes up for the little negatives. And what are those three pros? Well, the first pro is there is a ton of game modes. You have yourself a story, which is about 4 chapters long. I've gotten about, I got to the end of the 3rd chapter, I believe, in about 2.5 hours. So your mileage might vary there. And that sounds like it's not much, but you also have these challenges, which are really cool. And the challenges, we'll play these a little bit more in a bit, but the challenges are exactly what they sound like. They're just challenges. When I first seen this, I thought they were maybe just races for the actual levels, but these are completely different levels than the story mode. There's also Tiny Soccer. Now, I haven't gotten to play Tiny Soccer yet. It seems like Tiny Soccer is only for co-op, on local co-op play. I can't see any way to actually play a multiplayer online, but this game does have multiplayer online, and the multiplayer online is everywhere. There's also Tiny Trolls and Jules mode. I'll be honest with you, I have not figured out what these two game modes are, and the main reason being I really got stuck in the story mode. There was just a puzzle I haven't been able to figure out. What are you going to do? But there is a lot of game modes. The second good thing is the multiplayer support. As I said, not only is there co-op multiplayer locally, but there's also online multiplayer. And that is pretty much everywhere. Everywhere that you go to play, you have the options to play public, friends only, or offline. And when I say everywhere, I mean everywhere, which is really cool. Except, I guess, seems Tiny Soccer is only local co-op, like I mentioned before. And the third big advantage this game has, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a very unique take on the puzzle platformer genre, and we'll see that in a minute. One of the first negatives right away is that I hate when they lock game modes right from the bat, and I have to finish the story mode. I mean, yeah, the story mode's not that long, but if you get stuck on a puzzle like I did, you're not going to make it to these. That's not fun. Let's hop into the options menu, because there is a couple things I do want to point out in the options. First of all, video settings. It's actually very weird. So as you can see, I have it on 1920 by 1080 right now. But when I was originally trying to set the resolution, it starts off at 1280 by 720. And you would think, you know what, let's just... well, I guess I can't use the mouse. Right now I'm using an Xbox 360 controller. You would think if I just keep going to the right, you would make it to 1020, but no. These resolutions are very much out of order. If you want to get to 1920 by 1080, you have to go all the way to the left. Very weird. VSync full screen, pretty standard stuff. The brightness is actually kind of weird, because look how big of a difference each click is. I thought that was a pretty big deal. The next thing is audio settings. The reason I wanted to bring this up is when I first started playing the game, there was actually no audio settings for VoIP. I guess it was just always on and always full blast. When I restarted the game to do my recording, I got an update, and this is one of the things that showed up. I'm assuming not only that, they might have fixed a couple of the bugs that I found throughout the game. So if we come across them, I'll mention them. If we don't come across them, then I won't mention them, because they might be actually fixed. So next thing is leaderboards. What is a good multiplayer game without leaderboards? And there is tons of leaderboards, all the way from the challenges to the actual different chapters, Jules mode. There is a lot of leaderboards, which is fun. Who doesn't like bragging about being at the top of the leaderboard? So let's just jump into the game, and we will talk about it as we get in there. One thing worth notice, the first chapter is pretty much a tutorial stage, so there will be a lot of voiceovers. And I'm not going to talk over the voiceovers because I actually think the story is really cool, and you can get a good feel for the story. So let's just jump in here. We're going to go offline just because we don't want anybody jumping in with us. We're going to go to chapter select. We're going to start off on just chapter 1. I don't know how far into chapter 1 we're going to make it, but we're going to try it. So as you can see here, this would be the multiplayer screen. If I had multiple people here with me, they'd be able to just jump in and play with me. Another cool thing about this game is it's jump in and play multiplayer. So if somebody came to me, 20 minutes into the game and wanted to play, they could just jump in right with me. And as you can see, you have 4 characters you could play with. I won't explain who these 4 characters are because the actual cutscene will explain that. It doesn't matter if you're playing by yourself. It doesn't matter who you pick because you are able to change your characters throughout the game. It is important if you're going to play with multiple people because I assume 2 people can't play as the same character. Just worth noting. So let's just jump in.
It is complete success. As the world's lead super scientist, I fear that evolution has peaked with me and that all good stuff was already invented. But how can I have doubted my outrageously boundless genius? After many semi-unethical experiments, I have successfully created the ultimate species. The tiny brains, 4 unique powers. Dax, the ultrasonic bat. Minsk, the cold fusion hamster. Pad, the mouse with quantum brain. And Stew, the hypercharged rabbit. Now, the tiny brains are ready for their first experiment.
Congratulations. You have just volunteered yourselves for today's experiment.
Okay, so as you can see, anybody could jump in at any time. You can choose your different guys. You can flip through them by hitting the left and right bumpers. Obviously, if you're using a keyboard and mouse, it might be a little bit different. Let's see, I think there's a cutscene here. No. So each guy has a different power. He explained it in the cutscene, but just to show you, I believe this is the rabbit, and the rabbit has the power to make things come near you, pull them towards you. This is the hamster. I think this is the hamster, and he can actually make ice blocks that blow up. And not only do they blow up, but you can actually jump on it and shoot up in the air. Next is the bat. Yeah, that's what this is. This is a bat. This is the opposite of the rabbit, and this pushes things away from you. And the third thing is, I guess, the mouse or the rat. Yeah, rat, maybe. And this has the ability to swap places with what you're looking at. One cool thing I really like about this is the slow effect you have when switching guys. So let's say I wanted to use this and start and shoot myself up in the air. When I change guys, it actually slows down, so it gives me a chance to use one of their special abilities. That becomes very important in this game because as you progress later into the game, you actually have to start running using multiple abilities to solve puzzles. So let's get into the first puzzle. As you can see, there's going to be...
Check. Particle accelerators. Check. Calibrating Minsk first. If you forget how to use your power, notice the screen over there. I recorded your previous performance. Now, exercise. You need to lose a few grams.
Okay, so as I was saying, there's going to be a lot of cutscenes in here. So this is just pretty much a tutorial, and it's basically going to give you an idea of how to use each one of your guys. So obviously this guy allows me to get up higher. I could push this down, and then I just need to push this block and push this block into the hole, and I can move on to the next scene.
Duct tape. Check. Call for computers. Check. Pad, my fearless mouse. I removed self-preservation instincts from your brain. Now, you don't care if your teleport leaves you in a jail cell or dead.
So as you can see, this guy is pretty straightforward. He swaps his position with whatever you're looking at, and we just swap it, open up the gate, and we can move on to the next one.
100 liters of coffee. Check. Mushroom sauce. Check. you, the rabbit with the ADD. Remember, you can pull objects in a wide cone in front of you, even from different heights. Now for once, try to stay focused on your task.
So the reason why I'm really not talking while he is just because I think some of the things he says is hilarious. One thing worth noting is I guess this update fixed one of the biggest problems I thought I was going to have was before this update, and again, this just updated literally in the middle of my playing. When you talked, when it heard you, it actually popped up on your screen that you were talking. I guess that's for when you're playing with multiplayer so you know who's talking to you, but it's a little annoying when you're actually trying to play by yourself. So let's get this one in here, and I assure you all of the ones on this training is not as simple as this. This is just showing you your different abilities.
Checklist. Check. Code. Check. And now, your turn, Dex. This is breeze for you. Unless you finally became senile.
And the last one, very easy. You just push it right into the hole.
Complete. Chess set. Check. Mate.
Now this is where it's going to start getting a little fun. So this is the first real puzzle. And it's actually pretty simple. What you can notice is when you click on the buttons, those things come up. And I can get through. Very easy, very simple for the first real puzzle. As we start going more, it's going to get a little bit more difficult, and we're going to have to start combining.
I made you powerful, but did I make you clever?
Yes. So we have to start combining different abilities. So first thing we want to do is get that out of there. Then we can move this over to where this button is. Use the ice to get up there. And boom. And now we can just push this over, and we're good. This game seems very simple, and I have to admit, some of the puzzles aren't the hardest puzzles in the world, but as this game progresses, these puzzles get really, really difficult.
In my laboratory. It is not possible. I must be hallucinating. Yes, a coffee-induced hallucination. Huh? A caffeination. It makes perfect sense.
As I said, there is plenty. It was a really hard puzzle. I haven't figured out how to get through it. I'm sure there's something I could do to get through it. I haven't figured it out yet. One of the gripes, and it's a very small gripe that I have with this game, is because of the angle. Sometimes it's actually hard to notice where you're aiming things. But it actually is. It kind of accounts for that, because all you really need to do is get the object near the hole, and it'll just kind of automatically place itself. Now, again, these puzzles seem like they might be a little easy, but not only do they actually start progressively getting harder, but they actually start getting really, really intricate. Like, there's one puzzle that turns out to be a an air hockey ring, and you have to get a ball across the air hockey ring. Ooh, that was really bad. Oh, I guess I didn't have to do anything.
Hey, come back here.
Let's get through here. Okay, so I believe this is one of the ball ones. So this is kind of where things start getting a little bit more difficult. Now, it's not going to look too difficult right now, obviously, because I've done this. But let's try to get this. Nope. We want to get it. Okay, let's try to do it like this. There we go. And all the cutscenes, I believe, is what makes this game. And I guess it's why it's considered an adventure game, because there is a lot of story to it, and that's fun.
Now, let's see if that agility matches their cleverty.
So now we have to actually bring this ball with us somewhere. Oh. Come on. There we go. And as you can see, it's starting to get a little bit more difficult. Now I have to get this over the gap without actually... Oh, let's see. Let's get this to stay. We have to get this out over the gap without actually getting it into the hole. One thing I really like about this game is that there's no set way to do these puzzles. I'm sure the actual map... Ooh, that was really bad of me. I'm sure the actual map designer of this game had a way in mind that he expected people to do the puzzles. But honestly, I found that there is multiple ways to do it. And that's actually, that could be a positive and it also could be a negative. It's a positive so you don't have to worry about doing things the way the game wants you to. But at the same time, it's a negative because it's so free-form. I've found places where I've gotten stuck. Well, almost stuck. I've never gotten stuck that I couldn't actually progress any further. But I've gotten real close to not being able to progress. So let's just get this ball onto the other side over here. We obviously need to get... Whoa. Oh. And now I have to start all over. Oh, no. Yeah. And what's one nice thing about this is I don't have to actually backtrack. It will bring me back here. It's nice and annoying at the exact same time. Because there's sometimes that you just wish it didn't do that. It would have left you where you are. Because it would have made the game a little bit easier. But I mean, I guess that's not the point. The point is for it not to be easy. You want to have fun. Okay, and let's get this going. Come on, almost there. You want to have fun. You want to have a bit of a challenge. You don't want just things handed to you. And this game really doesn't hand you anything. So let's just get this in here, and we can move on to the next puzzle.
Ball. Intelligence level, 3-year-old human. No, 2-year-old human Russian.
And there we fall. And that's a bit of the humor I was talking about.
216. Combining powers is beyond their comprehension.
So this is the first time they're talking about combining powers, and it's actually a really cool mechanic. So for instance, this guy shoots up ice. So not only can you do that, but combining his power with the purple guy's power, and there you go. You can move on to the other sides. And I believe this is actually one of the more difficult ones. No, okay. It took me actually a long time to figure it out. What you'll notice is some of the powers don't work if you're not on the same axis. So I can't use this over here. When I was over here before, let's just get back over here. I couldn't use this to get that. I couldn't use that because it's too far away. So there is some... Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Sometimes you do have to play the game the way they want you to do it. But I mean, they have to put some type of limitations into the game, I suppose at least. But it's fun. It really gives you the feeling of accomplishment. And that is great for a game. So let's just get this puzzle done. I don't necessarily think it's the last one just yet. And let's get this battery in here, and we can move
Very
on.
well. Your success is statistically significant.
And let's move on to the next puzzle. Like I said, the first chapter is not too hard. Whoa. So let's see. I believe you probably do something like... Oh, okay, there we go. And where is the... I guess we could probably jump this? I don't actually see the battery. And we hit this button. It's probably going to open up the gates. And, okay, and it's going to drop the battery. Very cool. Oh. Okay, so we probably... You know, we could probably do it from up there. We probably just have to pull that battery. I say probably like I haven't actually done this puzzle already. I have done this puzzle. There we go, and we are on to the next one.
I think I'll sneak in a little game of... Where is Tetrix?
I believe we're almost done with this trap.
You are an addict, Master.
And that's pretty cool. I actually didn't notice that. If you look at the screen, it's actually mimicking what I'm doing. Whoa. I believe we're getting to the end of this chapter, so we'll play this chapter through before we look at one of the other ones. So let's see. We probably got to do something like this, like that, and move this. No, that's not right. Let's see. Maybe we have to jump and switch to green. There we go. Oh, no. There we go. Okay, good enough. We died, but that's fine. That's completely fine. And we should be able to move through there. So as you can see, some of the weapons actually will work through obstacles. Some will not. So you have to really play around with to figure that stuff out. So let's get this over here. And let's make our way back onto that other side. Very cool. And boop. Very cool. The next one. The graphics isn't nothing to write home about, but the animations are really, really fun. As you can see, there's kind of a gritty, if you can kind of see that. There's kind of a gritty, pixelated look to it. At first, I just thought they were horrible graphics. But the more you play, the more you realize that is what they were going for. And that's cool. That's completely okay with me. Alright, so we want to probably get this guy over here. And then we can move our way back. Now, I'm using this thing a lot. But a lot of the times, you don't actually have to do that. One of the things I actually find a lot of fun is doing it like this. And just making my jumps like that. And that's, again, one of the examples of being able to play this game. Whoa. Oh, that was bad. Being able to play this game in multiple different ways. One of the drawbacks of this game is sometimes when you die, it actually respawns you into the place that you were trying to get to. Which makes it a tad bit easy. But with all the difficulty you get in the later levels, I don't really find that too big of a deal. And I believe...
Purify your body and soul, tiny warriors.
I believe this might be the end of this chapter. Let's just get cleaned up a little bit, and we could find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, in blue corner with a combined
Obviously, it's
weight
not.
of 0.0002 kilograms, the tiny brains. And the challenger, a horde of baby chicks.
So this is the first time it actually brings up this chick mechanic. And this chick mechanic is actually pretty cool. You have to actually fight these chicks. And it took me forever to figure out how to fight these chicks until I just looked up at that little piece of paper drawing. And there's actually multiple ways to kill them. This is going to show you a couple of the ways right now. So the first way is you can put up ice and shoot them at them. Another way you could actually kill these chicks, which is actually a little bit more fun, is to splat them Mario style. Let's try that again. And blah. Oh, I keep missing them. I assure you, you can do this. See? There you go. But let's do this for now. Now, these are not the only enemies you're going to fight. And you know what? We're going to just do this one again just to get through here. These are not the only enemies you're going to fight. You have these little chicks. You have these bigger chicks. And then you have these bomb chicks. And then there's... I don't want to say there's other things you fight, but there's definitely other mechanics to fight. To use to fight, I should say. And... see, there is one of the big chicks. And we want to swap with him. And now we need to get him out of here. Nope. We'll bring him over here. And just simply knock him off. Very cool. Then we should be able to just get through. And move on to the next puzzle.
So, you like my tiny brains? You think my experiment is game? I will give you experiment, you pink punk.
I don't really want to talk too much about that pink chick, because I think that's actually one of the most fun parts of this game, and we're not really going to learn much about him in this one anyway. You actually start learning who he is and stuff like that into the next of the chapters.
Oh, I have idea. Not part of today's protocol. This is improvisation. Oh, so brilliant.
One of the fun things I can really see about playing this
Hurry,
game...
little mutant. I have surprise for you. Will you risk your lives to protect her?
So this is one of the cooler mechanics. We basically have to protect the chick. We can't let the chicks get too much damage. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Because if you get too much damage, they will die, essentially. And you don't want the chick to die. One of the things that I really want to try with this game is on multiplayer. I feel like this game would play really well on multiplayer. Let's pull those guys out of there. Because being able to share the responsibilities with other people, it just seems like it would be a ton of fun. So let's get those guys killed. This game is so much easier when you actually know what you're doing.
At 52.4%.
Okay. So again, we got one of these big guys. We need to get him away from the chick. Oh. We don't want him hitting us, though. We will switch him, and knock him off. Very cool. Now, it looks like I'm doing this pretty well, but I'll be honest with you. The first time I did this, I probably killed the guys more times than I would like to admit. Very cool. One more wave.
All they see is dead
Damn it.
chicks. While I see...
Okay, one more. Oh, no, no, no. Come on, get him. Oh, wait, oh, oh, oh. And there we go. I think that was the last wave. Very, very cool.
Do not move.
Like I was saying, one of the most interesting aspects I find about this game is being able to play this in multiplayer. And since this game is not out yet, there's not a lot of people playing it.
Never follow strangers.
There's not a lot of people playing it, but I'm sure once this is released, you'll be able to find lots and lots of people to play
The
this.
results are beyond expectation. I can see the future. Fame, glory, publication in a peer-reviewed journal. Of course, good stories need conflict, drama. No! The tiny brains have escaped, lured away from me by that horribly cute pink chick. Now I have to bring them back.
Cool. So that is the first stage. We're not going to play any more of the main game. That was actually...
1, 2, 3.
Nope, 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 nope. We don't want to do any more here. And yes. That was the main game. I don't want to play any more about that. That was only the first chapter. And like I said, I know the story mode seems short, but with all the different modes in here, there's so much more to do. So let's just take a quick look at some of the challenges. We're going to keep it on public just in case anybody wants to come and play with us. The first one I'm going to play is Ball Challenge number 1. This is the only one I did relatively good on, at least. So the point of this game is pretty simple. You basically just want to keep pushing this... You want to keep pushing this ball down this alleyway without it falling and breaking, is basically the point of it. So this first one, like I said, is not the hardest one in the world. Okay, let's just make sure we don't die right at the beginning. Let's see if we can beat our my high score. Let's keep it going. As you can see, there's... Ooh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come back, come back. As you can see in the top right-hand corner... the bottom left-hand corner. Yeah, I know my directions. My name keeps popping up. This is actually one of the issues I was talking about before. Oh, man, this one... I haven't gotten past this, to be honest with you. This is one of the issues I said before, and I guess it wasn't fixed. It will just... Oh, no, 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 no. Where am I? Keep it going. Oh. Okay, come on. This is actually the best I've ever did in this. Come on, keep it going. It's actually quite annoying. I know it's not that big of a deal, but I don't really see why they think you need to... and I died. I don't see why they think you need to know that you're talking, because if you're talking, you know that you're talking. Hey, I'm rank 69. Not that shabby. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much for Tiny Brains. Again, there is so much more in this game to play. I don't have enough time to keep playing the video. If you want to check this game out, again, it's on Steam. It was released December 11th. It's $13.99 up until December 18th, $19.99 moving forward. It's also available on the PS4, as well as I believe it's coming out on all major systems, PS3, Xbox 360, Xbox One, though I don't know if it's out yet. I don't actually think it's out yet. I think it came out for the PS4, then it came out on Steam, and then it's going to come out for the rest of the systems. Either way, if you like puzzle adventure games, if you like puzzlers, especially multiplayer ones, I mean, this really is a fun game to play. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you want to see me check out more games, definitely hit that subscribe button. You'll see them right in your inbox. And thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.